Hello students, welcome to my online class. Today I will explain the definition of a vector space, and then I will show that the given set forms a vector space over the field F. So here is the definition of a vector space. The definition states that a non-empty set V is said to be a vector space over a field F if V is an abelian group under an operation denoted by the notation plus, and if for every alpha in F and the element V in the set V, there is defined an element which is written as alpha into V in the set V subject to the following conditions. Here we have 4 conditions. First condition is alpha into in bracket V plus W equals to alpha into V plus alpha into W. Second condition is in bracket alpha plus beta bracket close into V equals to alpha into V plus beta into V. Third condition is alpha into in bracket beta into V equals to in bracket alpha into beta bracket close into V. Fourth condition is 1 into V equals to V, and all these conditions hold for all alpha and beta in the field F and for all elements V, W in the set V. Here this element 1 is an unit element of the field F under multiplication. So if these 4 conditions are satisfied, then this non-empty set V is said to form a vector space over a field F. So here F is a field, V is a vector space. This alpha, beta are the elements in the field F, so they are called scalars. V is a vector space and the elements in the vector space V are called vectors. So hereafter alpha and beta are called scalars, V, W are called vectors. So this definition is given in the book. We have another definition for a vector space. Here we have 9 properties, and in this definition we have given 4 properties or conditions. These are 4, and to form an abelian group a set requires to satisfy 5 conditions. So these 5 conditions for abelian group and these 4 conditions, so there are total 9 conditions for a set to form a vector space over a field F. So here we will see the another definition for a vector space. So this definition states that a non-empty set V is said to form a vector space over a field F if under the binary operations. So here we have 2 binary operations over the set V. First binary operation is denoted by the sign plus, and second binary operation is denoted by the notation dot. This first binary operation is a function whose domain set is the set V cross V and codomain set is V, and second binary operation is a function whose domain set is V cross F and codomain set is V. This binary operation is called vector addition, and this binary operation is called scalar multiplication. So this set V is said to form a vector space over the field F if these 9 conditions are satisfied. First condition is closure property with respect to addition. This property states that V plus W belongs to the set V for every V and W in the set V. Second property is associative property with respect to addition. This property states that in bracket U plus V bracket close plus W equals to U plus in bracket V plus W, and this holds for every U, V and W in the set V. Third condition is existence of additive identity. This states that there exists an element 0 in the set V such that V plus 0 equals to V and 0 plus V equals to V. And this condition holds for every V in the set V. Fourth condition is existence of additive inverse. It states that for each element V in the set V, there exists an element minus V in the set V such that V plus in bracket minus V equals to 0 and in bracket minus V plus V equals to 0. So if these 4 properties are satisfied, V forms a group under the binary operation addition. Now the fifth property, this property is called commutative property with respect to addition. This property states that V plus W equals to W plus V for every V and W in the set V. And these 4 properties or conditions we have discussed in previous definition. So these are 5 properties and these are 4 properties. So there are total 9 properties. So if all these properties are satisfied under these 2 binary operations, first binary operation is vector addition, second binary operation is called scalar multiplication, then this set V is said to form a vector space over a field F. So we have an example. Let F be a field and V be the set of all ordered n tuples bracket alpha 1, alpha 2, so on, last alpha n. So this is called an n tuple. Here alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n are the elements from the field F, means they are scalars. Alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n all are scalars, whereas this element in bracket alpha 1 comma alpha 2 comma so on up to alpha n is an element from the set V, and we will show that V forms a vector space. So this is called a vector. Alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n are scalars, whereas this element is a vector and this is a n tuple. Here alpha 1 is a first component, alpha 2 is a second component, and alpha n is a nth component. Now we will define the binary operation over the set V. Two elements alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n and beta 1, beta 2, beta n of V are declared to be equal if and only if ith component of this vector and ith component of this vector both are equal for every I equals to 1 to n. Now we have these two binary operations. So we introduce two binary operations. So in bracket alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n plus beta 1, beta 2 up to beta n equals to in bracket alpha 1 plus beta 1 comma alpha 2 plus beta 2 comma so on alpha n plus beta n. So this is a vector addition. This is a vector and this is also a vector. So we add a vector with a vector. That is why it is called vector addition. Here addition is component wise. First component is added with first component. Second component of first element is added with second component of second element, and the nth component of first element is added with nth component of second element. So this addition is component wise. Next binary operation is multiplication. Here gamma is a scalar and this element is a vector. So this is a scalar, this is a vector. That is why this binary operation is called scalar multiplication. Here multiplication is also component wise. So we multiply gamma with each component, gamma into alpha 1 comma gamma into alpha 2 and so on, gamma into alpha n for gamma in the field F. Gamma is what? It is a scalar. So we will show that this set V of all ordered n tuples forms a vector space over the field F. So in order to show that V forms a vector space, we have to satisfy 9 conditions. So in order to show V is a vector space, we choose V, W and U be arbitrary elements in V. That means what? V, W and U are vectors. This gamma and sigma be arbitrary elements in field F. Means gamma and sigma are scalars. Here arbitrary elements means random elements. We are selecting them randomly. So first property, closure property with respect to addition. So V plus W, here V is in bracket alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, W is in bracket beta 1, beta 2, beta n. So we add them component wise. So after addition, first component is alpha 1 plus beta 1, second component is alpha 2 plus beta 2 and so on. Nth component will be alpha n plus beta n. Here alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, beta 1, beta 2, beta n all are scalars. So their addition will also be a scalar. That means alpha 1 plus beta 1, alpha 2 plus beta 2, alpha n plus beta n all are scalars. So that is why this element belongs to the set V. Second condition is associative property with respect to addition. So we have in bracket V plus W bracket close plus U equals to in square bracket alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n plus W is beta 1 beta 2 beta n bracket close, U is delta 1 delta 2 delta n. Here we add these two vectors component wise, so their addition will be alpha 1 plus beta 1 alpha 2 plus beta 2 so on. Nth component will be alpha n plus beta n. We keep U as it is. Now we have two vectors, this is first vector and this is second vector. We add these two vectors component wise. Again we have alpha 1 plus beta 1 plus delta 1, alpha 1 plus beta 1 plus delta 1, alpha 2 plus beta 2 plus delta 2 so on, and nth component is alpha n plus beta n plus delta n. Here alpha 1 plus beta 1 plus delta 1. Here all the alpha i's, beta i's and delta i's all are scalars, so they satisfy associative property with respect to addition. That is why this first component in bracket alpha 1 plus beta 1 bracket close plus delta 1 can be written as alpha 1 plus in bracket beta 1 plus delta 1. Similarly, this second component can be written as alpha 2 plus in bracket beta 2 plus delta 2. Same goes for nth component. Now we take alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha n out of this bracket. So we are left with V. This is an element V. Here we have in bracket beta 1 plus delta 1 comma beta 2 plus delta 2 and nth component is beta n plus delta n. So in next step we have alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n plus in square bracket beta 1 beta 2 beta n plus delta 1 delta 2 delta n. This vector is V, this vector is W and this vector is U. So we have shown that in bracket V plus W bracket close plus U equals to V plus in bracket W plus U. Third property is existence of additive identity. There exists an element 0 whose every component is 0 belongs to the set V such that V plus 0 equals to in bracket alpha 1 comma alpha 2 so on up to alpha n plus in bracket 0 comma 0 so on and nth component is 0. So we add these two vectors component wise. So first component is alpha 1 plus 0, second component is alpha 2 plus 0 and last component is alpha n plus 0. Here alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n and 0 all are scalars. So alpha 1 plus 0 is also alpha 1 plus 0 is alpha 1, alpha 2 plus 0 is alpha 2, and so on. Last component alpha n plus 0 is equals to alpha n, which is nothing but v. So we have shown that v plus 0 equals to v. Similarly, we can show that 0 plus v equals to v. Next, fourth property is existence of additive inverse. So for every v in the set V, there exists an element minus v. Here v is an element whose first component is alpha 1, second component alpha 2, and nth component is alpha n. And for the element minus v, the first component is minus alpha 1, second component is minus alpha 2, and last component is, that is nth component, is minus alpha n, such that v plus in bracket minus v equals to in bracket alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n plus in bracket minus alpha 1 minus alpha 2 minus alpha n. We add these two vectors component wise. So after addition, the resulting element will be alpha 1 minus alpha 1, alpha 2 minus alpha 2, alpha n minus alpha n. So all the components are 0. So the resulting element is a 0 element in the set V. So similarly, we can show that in bracket minus v plus v equals to 0. Fifth property is commutative property with respect to addition. So we have two vectors v and w. So v plus w equals to alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n plus beta 1 beta 2 beta n. We add them component wise. So the the resulting vector will be a vector whose first component is alpha 1 plus beta 1, second component is alpha 2 plus beta 2, and nth component is alpha n plus beta n. Here alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n and beta 1 beta 2 beta n all are scalars, and we know that in a field addition of elements is commutative. So that is why alpha 1 plus beta 1 is equals to beta 1 plus alpha 1, alpha 2 plus beta 2 equals to beta 2 plus alpha 2, and alpha n plus beta n equals to beta n plus alpha n. Now we separate these two vectors. So this equals to the vector beta 1 beta 2 beta n plus alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n. This vector is w and this vector is v. So we have shown that v plus w equals to w plus v. So we have shown that v forms an abelian group under the binary operation addition. Now the sixth property, so gamma into in bracket v plus w equals to gamma. Here v equals to alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n, w equals to beta 1 beta 2 beta n. So first of all, we add these two vectors component wise. So we get gamma in bracket alpha 1 plus beta 1, alpha 2 plus beta 2, and last component is alpha n plus beta n. Now we multiply each component by gamma. So in first component we have gamma into in bracket alpha 1 plus beta 1, second component is gamma into in bracket alpha 2 plus beta 2, nth component is gamma into in bracket alpha n plus beta n. Here each gamma, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, beta 1, beta 2, beta n, all are scalars. That means they are elements of the field F, and we know that in field F it satisfies distributive law. So by the distributive law we have this first component equals to gamma into alpha 1 plus gamma into beta 1. This second component equals to gamma into alpha 2 plus gamma into beta 2. This nth component equals to gamma into alpha n plus gamma into beta n. So this equals to, in bracket, gamma into alpha 1, gamma into alpha 2, gamma into alpha n plus gamma into beta 1 plus gamma into beta 2, so on, gamma into beta n. Now we take this gamma outside the bracket. So we have gamma into alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n plus gamma into beta 1, beta 2, beta n. Here this vector is v and this vector is w. So we have shown that gamma into, in bracket, v plus w equals to gamma into v plus gamma into w. Next, seventh property. So we have, in bracket, gamma plus sigma into v. Here this gamma and sigma both are scalars, whereas v is a vector. Equals to gamma plus sigma, and v is equals to, in bracket, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. Now we multiply each component of v by gamma plus sigma. So after multiplication, the resulting vector will be a vector whose first component is gamma plus sigma into alpha 1, second component is gamma plus sigma into alpha 2, nth component is gamma plus sigma into alpha n. As we know, gamma, sigma, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, all are scalars. That means they are the elements from the field F, and in F distributive law holds. So this first component will be gamma into alpha 1 plus sigma into alpha 1. This second component will be gamma into alpha 2 plus sigma into alpha 2, and this nth component will be gamma into alpha n plus sigma into alpha n. This equals to, in bracket, gamma alpha 1, gamma alpha 2, gamma alpha n plus sigma alpha 1, sigma alpha 2, and last nth component is sigma alpha n. Now we take gamma outside the bracket and sigma outside the bracket. So we are left with the element gamma into, in bracket, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n plus sigma into, in bracket, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. That is gamma into v plus sigma into v. Here we have v. So we have shown that gamma plus sigma into v equals to gamma into v plus sigma into v. Here we have v. Now eighth property. So we have gamma into in bracket sigma into v equals to gamma into in bracket in square bracket sigma into in bracket alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n. We multiply each component of v by sigma, so we get the vector which equals to gamma into in bracket sigma alpha 1 sigma alpha 2 sigma alpha n. We again multiply this vector by the scalar gamma, so we get this element here. Gamma sigma alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n all are scalars. That means they are the elements of the field F, and we know that in every field associative property with respect to multiplication holds. So that is why this vector equals to this vector. The first component is gamma into sigma into alpha 1, which equals to in bracket gamma into sigma into alpha n alpha 1. The second component gamma into in bracket sigma into alpha 2 equals to in bracket gamma into sigma bracket close into alpha 2, and the nth component gamma into in bracket sigma into alpha n equals to in bracket gamma into sigma bracket close into alpha n. Now we take gamma into sigma out of the bracket, so we get in bracket gamma into sigma bracket close into in bracket alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n, that is in bracket gamma into sigma bracket close into v. So we have shown that gamma into in bracket sigma into v equals to in bracket gamma into sigma bracket close into v. Last property, so we have 1 into v. Here 1 is a scalar, v is a vector. So 1 into v equals to 1 into v is an n tuple. So 1 into in bracket alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n. Here 1 alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n all are scalars. So we multiply every component by 1. So we get 1 into alpha 1 1 into alpha 2, and the nth component is 1 into alpha n. So we know that in a field F 1 is a multiplicative identity. That means if we multiply every non-zero element in the field F by 1, we get the same element. So that is why 1 into alpha 1 is alpha 1, 1 into alpha 2 equals to alpha 2, and 1 into alpha n equals to alpha n, and this is nothing but v. So we have shown that 1 into v equals to v. So for the given set v, under the binary operations vector addition and scalar multiplication, we have satisfied all the 9 properties. So that is why we can say that the set V forms a vector space over the field F. Thank you.